Hello, everybody. Hi, and welcome to Bill Has Opinions. Your can't miss Bill shit. I'm Laura Lavoie, and this is Bill Perkins.
It is I. Yes.
It is you?
That is me.
It is
I'm
you.
Here.
Yay.
Yeah. Hey.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah.
So
we're doing a new thing tonight.
We are doing a new thing. We're trying a new format. You asked, we listened. And it took us 159 episodes to listen.
But people have said our shows tend lengthy to commit to sometimes, so we're going to try and cut it down. So yeah, if you like the hour-long format, well, sorry, we're going to try. Although it's not the end of that entirely.
Yeah, we definitely will have some very special episodes.
We got some super episodes that will be an hour still. So. But we're going to try and whittle it down, which means we're going to cut out some of the chafe. Does that mean we're cutting out the fake ads and that kind of thing?
The fake ads. The light is literally flickering behind
Weird.
me.
Well,
the light is angry at us. No, not the fake ad. Well, the fake ads. Yeah, I suppose we are still going to do our own station break because we still want to buy a new camera. So, hi.
We just won't make it as lengthy, I guess. It'll be like, here, check this out. Okay,
here, do this. But we can still have moments for niceties. So how have you been since we last did a podcast?
Well, I had a weird week. It's been up and down, I was a little under the weather in the middle of the week, but then I got over it, and now I'm better.
Well, that's good.
What else went on? I had trivia on Sunday, which meant I didn't get to come to the event that you threw.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it went pretty well. We had a Dragon Con Goers of Asheville event. Which we used to do, and then when Matt and I went to Atlanta for the couple of years, we didn't do
because you weren't of Asheville.
I was not here, and so we decided to revive it. But unfortunately, due to other things, we had to switch the day almost last minute. So we didn't have as many people as I think we could have.
Yeah.
But we did, and old friends, new friends. It was a nice group. We had a great conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
So
cool.
I'm okay with that. I've got new friends now.
That's great. New friends are good.
Frankly, I mean, that's how you and I are friends, and that's why we're even sitting here doing this.
The whole reason we're here is for those kinds of things. Yeah, we met up at one of those things once, and then when I saw you at Dragon Con, I was like, I know those people.
Yeah, that's what I was telling new friends, that I'm like, you always run into people at Dragon Con, which is weird because it's between,
it's a huge amount of people, but
60 to 90,000 depending on the year.
Yeah. Although Asheville has 240-ish, I think, is the population. I'm not exactly sure. It used to be.
That's 96 in Asheville, metro area.
The metro area. Anyways, okay, so 96,000 in Asheville, and yet if I walk around Asheville, I'll bump into 3 people I know also. So
That's true.
It took me a couple of years before that started happening, but then once it started happening, it happened all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like if I walk around town, I'm gonna bump into somebody I know.
No,
and I don't even live in Asheville anymore, so that's crazy.
No, but that's absolutely true. That is certainly a thing that happens. So I guess Dragon Con is like a small town.
It's like a small town.
You're in a small town.
You're in a small town.
That's packed into 3
and 4 buildings,
blocks.
which actually amplifies the amount of time you're going to run into somebody.
That's true.
Because it's only, all those people are only a block or so away.
It's true. Well, and speaking of very special episodes, we will, of course, be doing our annual Dragon Con episode, which will be a super episode.
Right.
Because we just would have way too much stuff to talk about. I mean, again, that's the reason we do this thing. So that's how we started. That's why
it went on an hour, was because we have so much to talk about.
Correct. Well, we also do some of the Dragon Con style gags and things for the show. And we dress up and we have a whole situation. So we enjoy it, which is, to be fair, I mean, this is a hobby for us, so we should enjoy it while we're doing it.
Right. Otherwise, what's the point? That's the whole reason we drink. It's a good time. We're having a good time. It's like, it's not work. Look, we're drinking. See?
We drink and talk about shit, so you don't have to. So speaking of, why don't we just dive into some things? We're going to start with headlines.
Oh my goodness.
I wanted it to be super official.
I love it. It's dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
Yes.
I wanted to have that nightly news quality to it.
It totally does.
So hopefully that novelty will wear off eventually, and we'll just get to things. But headlines today, I think we can't go far without talking about I mean, a lot's happened in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
right?
Sure. It's been a roller coaster for sure.
And old man dropped out of the presidential race.
Yeah, he's done. And now there's another, like, it's funny because overnight, one campaign's campaign essentially became an anti-campaign.
Yeah.
Like, don't vote for the old guy. Wait.
We are the old guy. Shit.
Yes.
100%. So if you don't like politics, you may want to tune out
Look
for a little
away
while and come back. But I think among the topics that happened, so at the Republican National Convention, J.D. Vance, author of Hillbilly Elegy, was declared the vice presidential candidate for the Republicans.
Yes.
Launching a firestorm because that guy's kind of a douchebag.
Oh,
right?
Sure, yeah. Well, like they were going to pick somebody who wasn't.
Well, right.
Like, wouldn't it be something else if like, well, I mean, I guess it kind of was the last time. It's like, he's the nicest guy ever.
He was the nicest guy ever, which didn't go well for the presidential.
Right. I mean, I know he was like a evangelical and all that, but he seemed like he was probably a nice guy,
sure. Kind of still a dick because he wouldn't talk to other women without his wife present, which is just a weird flag.
Yeah.
But also such a nice guy that when push came to shove and he had to do something that was against his, core beliefs, he's like, I'm not doing that. And then that launched into, we're going to threaten this man's life.
Right.
The cultists, we're going to threaten this man's life. So J.D. Vance apparently does not suffer from that level of scruples.
No. He's on record as having called Trump Hitler.
Yeah, not a good way.
But I think Trump probably took it as a compliment.
Sure.
So there's that. He doesn't have to apologize for it or anything.
Well, he clearly didn't have to apologize for it because that's how it went.
Yeah, it worked out. So this guy,
Well, right. So of course, a lot of the bullshit about him is that, he wrote this book, Hillbilly Elegy, about, how hard it is to live in Appalachia, and you got to pull yourself up from your bootstraps like his family did. But turns out, he's not from anywhere. Well, he's from Ohio, and parts of Ohio are in Appalachia, but not
the little teeny, this little bit down here between Kentucky and West Virginia.
Correct. Yes.
The part of Ohio where if you're there, you're like, holy, I've been there before, and that was the scariest place I've ever fucking been. By the way,
and you're from
South. I'm from the deep South, and I found it scary. I don't remember. I know how to pronounce this. Chillicothe. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Sure.
Town.
Yeah. I know.
But anyway, it's right between like Ashland, Kentucky, and West Virginia, kind of.
Right.
That area.
Right.
Spooky. That place is weird.
Yeah. Well, when they talk about ghosts of Appalachia, I mean that's what you get to. It's weird stuff. Speaking of my Hallmark horror story.
Yes.
I did set it in like a weird part of Appalachia.
Okay.
Like a fictional part of Appalachia, but because it has that spookiness to it, right?
That's
like
fair.
You can get that sort of like folk horror out of parts
of
Appalachia.
There's always a mist in the morning, right?
Right. Right. It can be a little creepy.
One of my favorite things actually about early fall at my house is looking outside and it's just like white outside,
yeah, but it's like that weird, like a settled mist.
Yeah,
like it's not just fog. It's
it's like you're in that Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow.
Right, exactly. Which I guess Sleepy Hollow would
is also in Appalachia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Northern
Appalachia. But anyway, so among the things that this J.D. Vance has done, other than pretend to be, and one of the things he did, he said he was Appalachian, like he kept in his book, he uses the term Scots Irish.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that people went and found his like 23andMe, and he's not remotely Scotch Irish.
Yeah?
There's nothing Scotch Irish about this man. Nothing.
Okay. Not even
remotely.
You know what's funny? We were talking about this last week amongst ourselves, not on the show, but it's funny because I am Scotch. I'm not saying Scots Irish. I'm saying Scotch Irish because part of my family is Scotch and part of it's Irish.
Sure. Some Scotland, some Ireland.
Right. Some of that. Some of this, some of that.
Not Scots-Irish. You're right.
I mean,
the correction is.
Yeah, and I don't. Well,
it's from Ulster. So like the what we call Scots-Irish are
people who move from Scotland to Ulster and then move to
the U.S. Yeah, and to Appalachia specifically.
Right. Now most of my, So I don't know about the Scotch people, whether they just came straight from Scotland or whether they
went elsewhere.
Waylaid.
Sure.
But either way, I know there's some Scotch and some Irish is what I'm saying. So
JD Vance, the Trump campaign is not having a good time with things. They're scrambling.
Yeah.
But one of the things JD Vance, a comment from many years ago resurfaced on some pundit show where he specifically said that Vice President Harris is a miserable childless cat lady. Thus basically saying that if you don't have children, you don't have a stake in our future.
You're not invested in America, basically, because you don't have because you don't have a future after you're gone, right? But you can't give a shit about things because you didn't have progeny.
Right. Again, and as a child, I'm technically a child-free cat lady.
That tracks with GOP politics because they never give a fuck about any issue until their child is gay or their child has autism or their child has some, you know what I'm saying? Like that's when my child's black. Oh, now I give a shit. Like it's always that. It's like when it affects me personally.
Also, by the way, if your child's black, then that doesn't happen by accident.
Well, you get to that in the next the next bullet point.
Exactly. Because the next bullet point is, so here's where it's coming off the rails, people. So the white nationalists have come out. They've come out of the woodwork, freaking the fuck out, because JD Vance is also married to the daughter of Indian immigrants. So she is, as the daughter of Indian immigrants, not white. And that happens. And the white nationalists are losing their shit.
So his kids, ergo, are half Indian.
Yes.
Right. So that, and I don't mean Native American. I mean
from India.
Yes. Like South Asian.
Yes. South Asian Indian. Absolutely. But his response is my favorite.
Yes, he was
defending this situation to the white nationalists. First of all, if you have to defend yourself to the white nationalists
and tell them just to fuck off, like that's the way you should handle it. Is fuck off. I don't give a fuck. Like this is the woman I love. Fuck off, you dickheads.
But no, this is not what JD Vance said.
Right, well, because it's the base.
Right. So what he said basically was, no, she sure isn't white, but she's a good mom.
Yeah. She's fine.
But also, if you don't know Usha Vance, I don't know her personally. She's not a friend. But if you don't know who she is the daughter of Indian immigrants. She went to Yale and she's clerked for Supreme Court justices and has been a successful lawyer for many years. But apparently, according to JD Vance, the vice presidential
candidate, she's a good mom.
All it boils down to is her ability to spit out children.
That's what matters to his constituents. So that's what he's going to sell. He's not going to be like, hey, chill out, guys. I know she's half Indian, but she's a really good lawyer.
She's
exactly. Like, they would be like, oh, well, in that case, yeah, okay.
No, she's brown, but she's really good at being a mom. Like that's literally what the man said. And you can fuck right up. So to that end, as the childless cat ladies are now coalescing.
Yeah.
And I have seen that. So a lot of us were gonna just suck it up and vote for Biden, right? Because we're like, we can't do more Trump. We just can't. And we weren't energized. We weren't
energized. You were you were voting for the lesser of the two things is how you felt. And I will say in the last week or two, I have felt differently, like
way more energized.
And it's funny because Kamala Harris is not my favorite candidate, but I've kind of gotten over my fucking idealism, I suppose. Maybe it's just because the last 8 years have been sort of like beat it the fuck out of me.
Sure.
But I'm no longer like looking for the perfect candidate. Like I'm not selling myself on some fucking dream candidate anymore. I'm like, who the fuck can beat this motherfucker?
Yeah.
That's all honestly, that's what I give a shit about. And listen, if Kamala Harris wins and she turns out not to be ideal for me, we can worry about that in the fucking future. You know what I tell you what she won't be? She won't make me like fucking question my existence every fucking day.
Right.
You know? Like, or like wonder like, oh fuck, do I need to like, do some horrible thing? Like, do I need to like, I don't know, do I need to learn a skill I didn't have to learn yesterday? Like,
do I have to flee the country?
Right, any of that shit. Like, it's
my wife and children are literally in danger.
Right. Like she won't make me feel that way. She won't make me worry about existential issues.
Right.
So that's a thing because I don't like worrying about, and I swear to God, for 4 years I did worry about existential issues.
We absolutely fucking
and things weren't as bad as they're gonna be.
Yeah, if it happens.
If it happens to the next point.
Right, to the next point, exactly. So before we get out of headlines here, I do think we would be remiss not to mention, because unfortunately the news is not mentioning this as much as they should. This
should have been a fucking huge fucking deal. Like, but the media, and I say the media is complicit because they love this fucking guy because he makes it's good fucking media, I guess.
TV, yes.
Yeah. Look, what a fucking circus. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want a circus. It's not what I want. Exactly. I just want to live my fucking life and not like hand wring every day about where we're going. You know?
Well, so in what Trump said in an address to a Christian group, said to them something to the effect of, and I actually should have printed out what exactly it was because it was in that Trump gobbledygook speech.
Yeah.
But it was.
I saved it.
Oh, good.
I think.
You did. You sent me the meme.
Yeah, I did.
But it was to the effect
I got this on my phone. Hold on.
I mean, to break it down while you look it up, it was, don't worry. If you vote this year, implying for me as Trump.
Get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. For 4 years, it'll be for 4 more years and it'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll just have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
I do like that it was hard to read that because it's not English.
It's not clear.
It's just
gibberish. It doesn't have a flow to it. It's just like some idiot spitballing, right?
And it is. But unfortunately, what he was spitballing about is the thing that a lot of us progressives have been worried about, is that if Trump wins, it's the end of democracy. And he said the quiet part out loud.
Right. And I think this is the thing people don't remember. Hitler was voted for. It wasn't a coup. He didn't take power. He was voted for in an actual election.
Yeah.
Everybody in Germany voted, and apparently it was eked by. It was like a barely squeaked pass.
Which is kind of where we are right now.
Yes, it's gonna be like if Trump wins, it's gonna be like 45%.
Yeah.
Like that's where we're at.
Yeah.
I really wish to God that fucking Taylor Swift would open her fucking mouth.
Oh, she has. Don't worry. Oh yeah, no, the Swifties are pissed.
Okay, very good. Very good. Well, then
they're energized.
Then we're probably okay because I swear the young people could swing this thing.
They really can.
They really can.
They are.
And I know. And this is the thing. Prior to Biden dropping out, young people were not remotely. We're not remotely.
Heather, that's exactly what he said. Basically, that's exactly what he said. It would be fixed and we would not have to vote again.
We wouldn't have to vote again.
These are the stakes.
After that, it'd be a Second Amendment solution.
These are the stakes.
To put it in his words.
These are 100%.
And here's the thing, and I will tell you this, folks. I'm saying this once and I'm never going to say it again. But I am going to say this. Dictatorships don't last forever. So even if it happened, it's not going to be forever. It's going to be until people get pissed off. And I'm not saying it might be, because it won't be me being the one pissed off and doing something about it, because I'll be in the
50.
I'm going to be in the camps, like
100%. Yeah.
I'm going to be in a ditch somewhere, But eventually the young people will have had enough. These things last about 8 to 10 years. I mean, Franco was probably the longest one, but that was only. I don't think he was as dictatory as most of the other ones, right? Like,
exactly. And cheers to that. I mean, this childless cat mom for sure. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, this is not hyperbole. These are things that are being said. out loud.
Yeah.
And this is a problem.
Yeah. And when they tell you this, what is it, the saying, like, believe a person when they tell you who they are.
Yeah. And this is the epitome of that.
Yes, 100%. If I never believed that the leopards eat my face party was going to eat my face.
Exactly.
You know, that's where people are at. And I keep saying this to people too who are even on his side. I'm like, if you think like, okay, if you think he's not going to take your guns away, you're fucking wrong. Like, there's a gun shop down the road from my house. I pass every fucking day, and it says, "Take my gun away." I don't think so. Vote Republican. It says, and I'm like, I swear to God, when the guns get taken away, it's never going to be a goddamn Democrat.
Oh yeah,
never ever.
They've
never addressed it. Really, they've been like, okay, maybe we don't need to have high capacity magazines,
common sense gun laws,
right?
But
maybe they've been like, we don't need guns that shoot 1,000 times a minute, but they've never been like, we're going to take all the guns.
Well, and
they're never going to.
Yeah.
But they're just being like, hey, maybe you don't need military arsenal in your house. Like, well, you know, it's funny to me because the same people don't own a tank or a bazooka.
Right.
You know, like if that's your idea, like, I should be able to own the thing that can overthrow the government. Why don't I have an MX missile in my house?
Why don't I have a nuke?
Yeah, why don't I have an IBM? Like, I should be able to do that. That makes me equal to the government that I'm trying to overthrow with worst case scenario, which I'm going to vote for.
Which ding ding.
Yeah, the dictatorship I fear that I'm also going to, you know,
actively vote for.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
These motherfuckers,
right.
Jesus Christ.
We're gonna have to leave. We're gonna have to leave politics behind. Because we have some, we want to get a camera. So we want to tell you, please, if you have a few monies to spare, scan this QR code.
May I have some more?
You can buy our T-shirts. You can buy our Stay Shitty poster series.
Good old Stay Shitty.
And the Stay Shitty poster series is not just posters, people. It's anything you want.
Anything you want with the Stay Shitty on. You get a magnet, put it on the refrigerator, then you'll be reminded to stay shitty in the kitchen, which is weird, but that's, you know, it's your prerogative.
Pepsi did not give you your fighter jet. I'm sorry. Oh, wait.
I know.
Should we have
God, they got sued over that. That's a funny story, actually, because that went into a whole false advertising thing, as I recall. Pepsi never had a Harrier jet to give away.
Are you saying that you want points? Like, if you buy a certain amount of merch, you'll get points for something? Because we could probably
come up with start doing that. Yeah,
we can come up with something. So buy merch. Buy
merch and get bill points.
We have bill points. And at the end of bill points, you can win something.
It won't be a Harrier jet, though.
We don't know what that is yet.
I can't provide it. It won't be any sort of military hardware.
You know what it should be? It should be like, I've recorded your voicemail message.
Oh, like NPR?
Exactly.
They're going to have Carl Castle call you and, like, leave a voice.
Yeah, but instead of you.
It'll be me. I'm like, yeah, I'll do your voice. I haven't even done the voicemail on my phone.
Yeah,
like,
you still have.
Mine still says the voicemail has not been set up. Because here's the thing. If you call my ass, I'm not going to talk to you. And I'm also not going to call you back. Well, if you're a friend of mine, I might call you back. But here's the thing. I saw that you called.
Wait, like, before you do this, hold on.
I saw that you called. I'm aware of it. I will return your call, or it wasn't that important to me. And there we go. You don't need to leave me a message because it doesn't matter. Like, I either want to call you back or I don't, right? And that's why I have not set up my voicemail.
The reason I've set up my voicemail is only because I work for myself. And not many people call me, but the occasional person. So I want them
My wife has said to me, yes, I should set it up in the event that I decide I'm going to look for work or something.
That's not incorrect. That is, because I would tell you, as a former recruiter, if I called somebody who didn't have their voicemail set up,
the voicemail for this person has not been set up yet. You'd be like, all right, click.
I wouldn't even leave a message.
That's what I'm going for by not setting it up. Is I want you to go click.
Yeah, but if you want a recruiter or an employer to call you, you might not want them to go click.
I do try to tell them, like, please email me. I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, can this be handled in an email? Thank you.
Yeah,
that'd be great. If people email me and say, hey, we have a job offer, I do usually get back to them. I'm like, unless it seems like it's like some sort of horse shit.
Sure.
Although I even respond to the ones that are horse shit. Because they'll be like, hey, there's an interesting job that pays $16 an hour as a third shift forklift operator. And I go, have you even fucking read my resume? Exactly. That's what I say to them. I'm like, did you even look? Did you even read anything? Because first off, I make $26 an hour if you broke down my salary. And I'm a professional like data analyst. Like, what does that got to do with fucking forklift? Like, I'm not doing third shift forklift operator for $16 an hour. Like, get out of here, you motherfucking stupid ass.
I will tell you, I end up with weird shit because I write for staffing agencies, and some of them are targeted, like they're in a specific industry, right? So if I write an article about, like, I've looked on Indeed to see what, like. For example, one of them was a legal recruitment agency, right? So I'm looking for paralegal jobs on Indeed.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking for paralegal jobs on Indeed. I'm just like gathering information. I am now on so many lists for paralegal jobs on Indeed.
I see.
Like, please stop.
I got you. Oh, so it's an algorithm thing? Is what you're saying?
It's totally an algorithm thing. And who knows what you looked up.
Speaking of algorithms, sorry, I'm going to go off on a rail for just
we're good. That's the rest of the show is the rail.
Okay, the rail.
Off the rail.
Very well. Okay, so how do I get my Facebook to stop force feeding me groups that want me to join?
That's an age-old question.
Is there a way to tell it just fucking? So every one of them that pops up, because I get this shit in my feed, and it's always like something I don't care about. It's like, here's a wrestling meme, and it's from like Joe Bob's Good Time Wrestling Memes group, that I don't belong to, but it's like, if you want to see more of this, like, join this group. And I'm like, I don't want to see any of it. I want you to fuck off and not bother me, because you're not in my feed and you shouldn't be in my feed.
Right.
So I'll go block all Jim Bob's wrestling memes forever,
Do you get the thing where it says show me less of this? Always answer show me less.
I do if it ever asks me that about something. Like, but the only time it ever asks me that is about advertisements, which I'm usually which are usually, those are spot on.
You're like, yes,
I'm like, no, I do like that product. That's fine. Show me more of that. It's always stuff that's that's always in my wheelhouse. Anything capitalist, I'm like, yeah, I do like those. Okay. The only time I say no is sometimes I'll say yes, because they'll be like, do you like these fine ass Oxford shoes, these wingtips? And I'm like, I do. And then I go click on it, and they're $400 a pair. And I'm like, okay, no,
but not that much.
No, that's out of my range. Like, let's be honest, I'm never gonna buy those. So please no. So if they were 120, I'd be like, yeah, show me more of them. I'll buy them at that range. But yeah, I've got like a, but I don't feel that about the random. It's like, hey, here's some crazy, like, sometimes they'll leave me something I do kind of mildly care about, but I don't like that it's being force fed to me. Here's the thing. It'll be like, hey, here's a crazy fact about lemurs. And I'll read it and I'll go, that is kind of cool.
That's a good fact about
that is
lemurs.
A cool, but then I'm like, but I didn't ask for lemur facts, so get the fuck out of my feed, please.
Yeah. Well, the unfortunate answer is you can't, because you're. Well,
I just want to see the shit. I can't see the things my friends said
because all you're seeing,
just, like, here's wrestling memes and here's lemur feed and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't want all this. Just show me the things I care about.
No, that's a flaw of Facebook.
Oh my god, it's driving me fucking nuts, man. Like, I just don't want it anymore. Like, so much.
On that note, as we are streaming live to Facebook at this very moment, we have run out of time because our half hour goes way fast.
It does. That's why we've always done an hour, is because we can talk.
Because we can't shut up.
We got at least 45 minutes of bullshit.
Oh, for sure.
Bullshit, rather.
Bullshit. So we should wrap it up, though, because we promised a half an hour.
We did.
So you should wrap it up for us.
Okay, then. Thanks for joining us. Bill Has Opinions is engineered and produced by Laura Lavoie. The opinions of Bill are his and his alone, unless she agreed with them, or vice versa. We agreed. We usually do agree. Let's be fair. I mean, once in a while she'll comment on some shit, because sometimes, we have different perspectives. I mean, But anyhow, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Be sure to hashtag Opinion Gang and or Can't Miss BillSh. Join us next week when we'll talk about.
We don't know yet. We'll figure it out because we're talking about headlines.
Probably the shit we got left over here.
Some of that, yeah.
Some of that, yeah. We'll talk about those things. Anyway, we'll have some stuff to talk about. Yeah.
But we will be back next week.
We'll see you next week. Join us then. It'll be, at least it's quick. We're in and out. Nobody gets hurt.
Bye, everybody.
Good day.
Bye.